show some examples or an idea what Google Apps Script can do. The idea I'm thinking today is that how to really connect Netflix API to pull some movie information or Netflix, uh, some database or some records from a Netflix and compose them as some nice list in the email and send it to mass users or some known contact. So I think you are subscribing some of the newsletter or something like that, right? So this is something we can do with the Google Apps Script. That's what I'm going to demonstrate. And one of the key thing what you need to understand is that this really requires no money to spend. It's all about just think about some idea. And Google Apps Script or Google environment gives really free um, a playground for you to set up your project and you can do magic with your code. But this is one just use case or one example. You can think something like thousands of use cases and you can really build them with Google Apps Script. Okay, so just go and open your Google Drive and go and click the Google Apps Script. That will open a new app script. I already created a Google Apps Script in one of my other video. So instead of creating different Google Apps Script project, I'm going to today use the existing Google App environment. So as you all know that you can go and click uh, the script menu and you can type name something like, let's say, Netflix, Netflix, okay, Netflix, okay, sorry, Netflix newsletter. Hit enter. Okay, so again you can see what are the name Netflix newsletter. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can name the function whatever the way you wanted to write. Like JavaScript, you can name the function whatever the way you wish to. Okay, so the idea is that let's say collect some data from the Google App Script, right? Sorry, collect some data from the Netflix API, compose the data, something like a newsletter, and email the newsletter to maybe friends, or you can build your subscriber list, right? This is what idea I'm going to do it today. Okay, so today I'm going to introduce one of the platform called RapidAPI. I mean, whenever you wanted to really build some or build some tool where you wanted to really use some of the third-party APIs, the first place you can go to the RapidAPI where you have thousands and thousands of products. They give their API in single place so that you can just go and use them. I mean, many of them in order to start with it's just free. You don't need to really go and spend different vendors or a different thing. You can just go on Rapid API and try to find your interesting area and you can you know build your product. So I just give a sign up into the Rapid API, and if you go really find the Netflix, and if you try to API detail on the Netflix, it is very hard for you to find. Okay, so here I'm going Rapid API. This has, as I told you, right, from like a weather, finance, stock market, science, food, animals, weather, any gaming, there are variety sports, there are variety of API or content are available. So in our use case, let's go and try whether you see Netflix here. Uh, okay, Netflix. Yeah, you see the Netflix, right? Okay, just click the Netflix, and it just really gives example of what is the endpoint, what are all the API examples are available here, and what is the, I mean, they are also giving the, I mean, the code already for you to, I mean, if you are writing Java program or a Kotlin or a Go C, PHP, they give the code just like Python. You just click and they'll give the Python code. You can just copy paste and use it. So it's a pretty cool. Today I'm going to use this, and what I'm going to do in order to do that, I'm going and checking the price. I told you, right? So in order to start with, it's always are mostly free. They say that the basic package is free, like 500 request per month is free. Okay, so which means I told you, right, every day I'm going to send just one email as a newsletter. So it's just 30 days. In a month, I'm maybe using only 500 calls, right? Sorry, 30 calls, not really 500. So it's mostly free, right? So I'm just going and uh, just checking this. It says already subscribed, and go and look at the endpoint data. Here, you don't really see the Google Apps Script environment, right? So maybe we need to tell them. But Google Apps Script is pretty easy. You go into here, look at it. It doesn't have. It's unfortunate. So before going and writing the code, let me check the basic example of shell script to see whether it is really getting the result. Okay. So what am I going to really use? It says we can do some search. Definitely, I'm not going to do any search. I'm going to say title detail. But for a title detail, we may supposed to give the title ID, right? That is not really we wanted. Maybe the title seasons and title similar, title trailer, season episodes. So something like that it is there. Um, okay, let's do some search. I mean, everything it says that the title ID is required. How do I know which title I'm going to do, right? So in the sense, let's see whether what we can do the basic search. It says that a stranger, something like that. What is this? There's a season, right? So let's say you do little like movies, right? Do search and click the test endpoint, and it gives some code. And I mean, even it gives the example of the code and what could be the example of responses, something like that. Just go and copy all of this and use the JSON formatter in order to clearly read the data. Just copy paste here. So it says that the data what we receive here is it start as a JSON, right? And in the JSON, it's an array. The title is a array. Within a title, it says that availability queue. Let's see, really try to understand what exactly it is. Okay, um, Patrick Harris. So it says that what it really movies is an array. Sorry, titles is array, and come down. It says TV drama and contextual summary and maturity. Okay, after this, I'm seeing something like a show. The title is a series of unfortunate event. Let's do real search. What exactly it is? Sorry. Um, um, I'm sorry. I just wanted to do a real search of what exact data is this. Okay. Um, okay. It says maturity is this, valence, and the. Okay. So I mean, this is like some sort of data they are giving, right? And it says the title is Love, Death, Robots. Just copy and go and find out what exactly it is. Just before building it. Okay, I'm seeing that it's a kind of TV series, and now I don't know. I search movie, but what it gives is like uh, the TV series or something, right? Okay, we can deep dive this little later. Okay, so now you go here, and the title is the top level. Suggestion is the So the title I got a 50 item, and suggestion I got a 10 items. Okay, so there is a summary, strange things of collection, and something like that. Okay, go and take the titles, uh, and each and every item I see, right? So let's take the first one. It is availability and queue, summary, um, jaw summary, and within it I see I see tags, cast. Okay, cast is a nice thing, and genre and availability, contextual summary, contextual synopsis, and maturity. And okay, all right. So, which means what we see here is all the data is part of JAWS summary, right? Within the JAWS summary, we are seeing something like uh, the ID and the title, release year, and the synopsis. Maybe this is enough, right? Let's see whether some image or thumbnails are okay. Oh, it's got episode also in it. That's cool. And it has a logo image and the background image. And the background image has some URL and logo image. Let's copy and see what exactly the logo image is all about. Um, okay, this is the logo image. All right, right. So then let's say the background image. Um, I'm sorry, I click this and I copy this and see what it is. Okay, this looks nice, right? Okay, so now we are going to pull this into our application. All right, just go to the call here and come to your Google Apps Script, and we are going to see how I'm going to pull the data into my Google Apps Script environment. Okay, so I given this reference example in the document section. You can go and refer a lot of API examples. So the URL fetch is one of the example. I mean, are the function or a method available in Google Apps Script for it. It helps you to pull any third-party API or any data into your Google Apps Script environment. Okay, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to copy this, okay, and paste into my Google Apps Script. So the simple reason here is the Google fetch as some URL, right? So go here and copy this whole thing, right? And paste here and see what are all the other options we supposed to forward, right? So it has some header and the key versus value. Okay, so just copy this for the easiness and just paste here. So the data we are not going to pass any data for sure. Okay, and we are going to use really no payload, but we are going to show some header options. Okay, how do we pass? Let's take the whole thing and paste it here. Just copy this and host it, paste it here, and just make them as a simple JSON data. Okay, and today most of the APIs are basically JSON based payload, right? Okay, single quote. I mean, you can use either quote, either single quote or a double quote, but always use a consistent way. Okay. All right. You are seeing my API key. I'm not really worried now because after this example, I can invalidate the API key. So if you really want, you can just go and create yourself. Sign in with the Rapid API. It's free. Most of the service is free. You can just go and use it. Okay. All right, I'm done and I'm going to pass this options in the URL fetch. Okay, let's remove all of them. Now I'm going to again refer this. So how I'm going to, get the data. You see the header is the object, right? Map values. You see where the header is. Um, I think mostly we see this is the same way. Okay. Now what I need to do, go and see how to catch the response, right? Okay, here, go and catch the response, right? And then um, response dot get content. Okay. Here let's say you can use like a constant as long as I'm not going to change it. See on string data equal to response dot get status or dot get uh, get response code, right? Dot okay. Okay, it's simply a response code, right? So what we can do here is if response code not equal to 200, 200 it means it's a success. Okay, so do logger dot log whatever the way you want to log. Maybe you can send a mail to yourself that okay, this API is not working, so that if this program is going to send a daily newsletter, if one day it fails, then it will notify to you that the API is not working, something like that. Okay, unable to fetch data from the Netflix, right? Okay, and you can return here. Now I'm going to get the data from the response. Now how can I get the response as a JSON? Say get as uh, so I think we can just go like dot get response get content dot mm, okay, see URL fetch and see how to get them as a JSON. JSON, we send the payload. Okay, now let's do a little search. URL fetch get a response as JSON. Okay, so you can get the plenty of examples. Okay, get text and just simply parse that. Okay, okay, this is a very cool and simple, right? And constant data. Okay, I got the response as a JSON now, right? So in my earlier video, I explained how you can use some of the string interpolation tools. For example, if you look at my earlier email, I created one email template. In that, I used some placeholders like a program variable which I mean I use the mustache library in order to interpolate my JavaScript variable into this template, right? I'm going to use the same way today. Okay, so if you did not watch my other video, please I'm giving that into the comments, description section. Please go and watch what is mustache, how can you use something like a mail merge feature. Okay, so I'm just copying the similar template and I'm going and creating, let's say, Netflix a newsletter, right? Okay, just paste it. You can think of whatever the way you're planning to send, but for now, the whole idea is that how to use Google App feature. Okay, so my idea here is in the body, let's say think hi. Here is okay. Type really little HTML here, right? Div. Let's say hi. I make it a little bit zoom so it will be easy for you to see. Okay, hi. Here is the list of titles from the Netflix. Okay, and what we need to do, can we build some table or think? I mean, what you can really do with this? Okay, let's do table, right? Uh, okay, and t head. T head, um, T body, T body. So what are we really going to build in this table? Maybe, I mean, this is a basic HTML I'm showing you here. Let's say th, uh, what it is. Can we say movie, or let's say name, um, maybe actors, right? And descriptions, sorry, right? I'm just building a simple HTML table, okay? Maybe actors we can leave it, and probably we can show the thumbnail of it, okay? Let's say banner or a poster, okay? I'm going to use the image. Uh, is that right? Right? Okay. T body. So similarly, I'm going to create one tr and a closing tr. I mean, there are plenty of editors. You can automate this, or you can let your editor to do automatically. But the Google Apps Script is really a it's an environment for you to use some of the basic automations, but in a very high level under Google environment. Okay, so I just build some basic example, right? You know, now if you go back to our data structure, right? What we see here, so in every result, the okay, every result it's a JSON and the titles is the array, right? So you all remember the mustache JavaScript example, right? How you should use the template binding and all, right? In this example, in order to use any array, you should use something like this. Okay, so I mean, this is something you can learn. It's a pretty simple any string interpolation library. So in, I mean, if you go to our code, we have it in the data, right? So how it will be titles, correct? That's what we see here. The titles is an array, and I open the title before the row of the t body, and I'm closing it. Okay, right? Okay, I'm opening the. I mean, I'm looping the response. The response has a title is a key. It is array. The array has a list of value. So now if I run, if my Netflix has 10 item in the title array, then it will create a 10 tr records. Okay, so then what we need to do, then pull the image. You all know that the image src tag used for images, right? Let's go and read. So it is now, I mean, according to the code, now we are inside of title. Okay, so how do we get the value here in the title? Maybe in the JAWS summary, right? We have what? The background, okay, and the URL. Okay, so how you can use it? You can just copy this, right? You go here, um, under the title, it's a JAWS summary, and then what? Um, Maybe a background image. It is again a JSON, right? Background image dot. What is the next one? Use the URL. Okay, that's it. And just put this, flower base. Sorry, I think it's a double flower base. I'm sorry. You can, I mean, as you write some code, you can always find out what you do wrong, and if not, anyway, you can debug the code and you can solve it. Okay, I just use the background image. Now I'm going to use the, I mean, pull the name of the movie. So how do we take? Just go back. We have the name in the I think we saw some key, right? It's a type is a movie. Oh, come on. We saw some names. Did we miss something? Title. Okay, 1922 is the title. Okay, under job summary, put the 1922. Okay, and now then you put the next item called description. Here, go and take the synopsis. Maybe it's up to you. You can use a synopsis or synopsis regular, but I don't know whether synopsis and both synopsis and synopsis regular in every single um, row. Okay, now this really pretty simple. Um, it really takes the data, it just loop the data and it create all the record. Okay, and now let's see what it generate. Let's go back to the code. Here, what we are going to do is we are going to pull the template here. Okay, let's say const template equal to here you can go and find out the other classes called let's say HTML or content service is another you know small utility where you can um, pull the template. Okay, so those things I already written in my the mail merge video. Please go and refer the video. I can use the same thing. Please watch the other video in order to understand how you can pull the HTML template, how you can interpolate those variables, and how you can send the mail. Okay, so in this example, I'm just taking the Netflix newsletter.html. I'm just taking the content from this file. Okay, that's the file name I'm entering here. It just read the content, and I'm going and to send the email. So to whom I'm going to send? You all remember, right? On last time I explained that the Get Nada. It's one of the super cool service where you can go and get some temporary email boxes in order to test whether I mean you can use temporary mailboxes in order to check whether your emails are getting delivered. All right, so go here and instead of putting into the two, I think you can put that into the BCC, because if you are going to send a 1,000 members, putting two, then each one will know the other person better. You can put it in the BCC so that um, one person will not know the other person. All right, so what the title we are going to send, here I'm again using the mustache render. Please, you can refer all this into the JavaScript mustache example. Like this is an email template, and this is a, payload, or a variable, which will interpolate the variable values into the template. All right. So here I'm going to make a change like Netflix um, videos. Okay, maybe we can add uh, some uh, some date or something like that, but we can come back later. Okay, so I just use the title. If you really look at it, I'm not passing any value here. I'm just rendering. In this case, we no need to really use the string interpolation. Okay, I just use the straightforward, and here I'm going to use the email template along with my data, right? Another way you can say Netflix data. Okay, so am I using the Netflix in the right way? I don't know, because I'm not talking about a license here or anything. I mean, I'm just using the API, and I'm going to let my friends know that there are some movies from Netflix. That's it, right? Okay, so you see this our initial code, right? See, we went and used the Rapid API in order to register for Netflix, or there are thousands of free APIs. You can just take them and build your use case or business around. Okay, and I use the smaller template, and and I'm pulling the data using the API fetch, and I'm interpolating, and I'm sending to most users. So let's add a few more emails to see, um, you know, whether multiple people are receiving. So you can wonder whether, hey, if I'm adding 100 people now, tomorrow maybe some more new friends is coming and asking my newsletter, should I go and change the code? No, you can just create a one, Google Sheet. We can read from the Google Sheet. I mean, in the Google Sheet, you can keep all your contact lists, or even you have a, contact app. Okay, if you go to Google App Script gives a API like a contact app, so which you can read all your contact. I mean, in the Google you have a contact, right? So from your contact you can read all the contact, or whatever the labeled contact, and you can send a selective set of emails to them. Okay, so now I just for now put two email addresses in order to test. um, those two temporary mailbox is in the get nada. All right, let's go and run it. Okay, so in my previous video I explained, as you write new function, this will keep on adding. Say it's not necessary that you need to write each function in a separate file. You can write as many as function in the even in the same file, and Google really allow that. I mean, as you add a new function, this drop down will automatically appear. But again, it's up to you the way you wanted to structure your code. All right, so I mean, whenever you are having any standard variables, you can always use the const. Okay, let's run and see what happens. Because this script execute first time, it will ask the permission. I'm just saying, okay, I'm permitting to execute this code. Okay, let's see what happens. It says the Rapid API returned 401, which means my API key is not authorized. So something wrong with this payload. Okay, so URL fetch app send headers, right? You remember, right? So here it really requires to send the APIs under the header. Let me check how to send the header. Okay, okay. Google says we need to send the header something like this. All right. Under the option, I need to use one more key. In that, the header should be passed. Okay, headers, and use the sub JSON values. Okay, and now you run. I'm just showing how to debug the code. Okay, because this is a really good environment, gives a decent logging environment for you to refer and debug. Now what you see? Okay, it says, see, all is good, but it says the endpoint search does not exist. How come? Right? Maybe this is not okay, but that's not a big deal. Let's run, because that's what exactly we copied. Okay, let's go and find out what is wrong with this. Can we use any other code? Okay, maybe jQuery or a fetch. It says this is the code, right? I'm copying this and come here and I'm pasting. Another way, this is a post method, right? We can define here whether it is a post call or a get call or whatever. So here it is a get call. I'm sorry, that's a basic mistake. I have to make this as like it's not a post call, it's a get call. How to make a get request. Now run. Okay, it's done, which means all done. Okay, let's see the get nada. Oh, okay, I got the mail. Cool. Let's see whether the string interpolation is really good. Okay, just open. Ah, you see the poster, right? And the name and the description. Maybe, can we use the name uh, as not a separate column? Maybe the table really not looking really, really. not really looking great. I'm going to really change. Sorry. So let me find out or use the Bootstrap. Most of you know that the Bootstrap that comes with some nice UI examples, all right, that I'm going to use. You may wonder, hey, can I use the Bootstrap template in the Google Apps script? Yes, you can. You can definitely use them. Okay, let me see how. So I'm just going and using the Bootstrap template. Here it gives nice code. Just go and copy and paste in my template. But without disturbing this, let's put this. Okay, and again you can copy these values. Okay, because I don't want to really rekey them. This adds a little bit nice UI flavor on top of it. Okay, so this table I told you, right, I'm not going to really use a table format because this looks not really good. Let's see some other um, you know design or something, um, what we can use. Component, right, use some kind of I would say Bootstrap, Jumbotron, or chords or something. Use something is looking good or something like that, right? So can we use this one maybe without this button, right? Just copy this or just click and go back and put it here, right? And you see, okay, here in the src you all know that we already have the image, correct? And the alt image you can use the same title name, of course, because giving alt is really important for any like accessibility. I mean, that's a different topic we need to discuss. And copy the synopsis here, and the instead of name, you already copied the title and put it here, right? Okay, let's remove the one we created here, right? We don't need them. That we don't need the table. Really, I don't like them. Right now, you save it. Let's go and run this. Go to the JavaScript and let's run this. And now you see it's done. Go to the getNada and go to the mailbox and you see the new emails. I mean, new email received. Just open them. Oh, I'm sorry. I did something wrong. You all know, right? What wrong? Haha, we missed the variable here. Do you remember? Because we did not wrap what? The titles. Title or titles? It's a titles, right? Yeah, it's plural. Okay, and this is card, right? Okay, all right. Sorry, I was wrong with this. Okay, so I just missed it. All right. Well, let's remove this button. Or you see whether there is a hyperlink to this particular page in the Netflix, so that I think Netflix really requires a login. Believe. See whether we can redirect the user to go to the Netflix particular URL or something. I don't find such a thing. That's okay. We can leave them. I mean, if you wanted to add the release here, whatever, right? So I just show you how you can pass the variable into your design, and it will simply interpolate. Okay. So just save this and now rerun. Okay. Now you go back to your getNada and go back to your inbox. Yeah, you got the new email, right? Okay, this looks not so great, but little better. Okay, so maybe you can add. I mean, it's all about HTML stuff. You can just go and improve your style. Let's say margin top with a little. Can I say 10px? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, open, and even you can use the this one a little bit because it's very close thing, right? You can add a 10px the above margin in between lines that may give little space, right? I mean, I'm not talking about the CSS stuff here. Honestly, you can just go and find and improve the way you wanted to improve your email template. Okay, so go back to your inbox, and I got a new email. The moment I click, Google is so fast, right? Delivering emails. Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, this looks good. Okay, here's a list of titles from Netflix. Okay, you see, wow, right? It's wow. It's really wow. Okay, now you can go and improve your template, whatever the way you want, right? Double column or even you can make it much, much, much bigger kind of template. All those things you can just modify in your email template and then Google will take care of them, sending. I think the problem would be this width, okay? So right now, instead of this, I am going to make like a 250px, something like that. Let's see. Okay, go and run. Go back. Okay, I got the new email. Oh, not yet. Okay, you got the mail. Now my card is could be a little. Oh, it's a very tiny. I may be wrong, but you can just go ahead and find out how to improve your template. I'm planning to use the link, something like what the card gives, to link the actual Netflix URL. So that will give the glimpse if the subscriber can just click and go and watch. Okay. So I use the same the card here, right? And so instead of the URL, let's say watch, right? Like a button I'm adding, and let's say something like a 500. So watch the link. How can I really get the YouTube link? Sorry, I mean the Netflix link, right? So one of the latest, uh, the first movie, I'm going and searching something like this, or Netflix 1992. It gives us some link, okay? So by clicking it, Netflix is really kind of build a URL something like this. Maybe let's try this URL. If this works, maybe that's the right link, right? Just go and put this here, but this ID is not the static ID. We need to use the dynamic one, right? So just copy paste this URL and go and find out what is the ID of the movie. Okay, so they say that the video ID is here and the ID is here. Mostly they will use the same uh, both ID and video ID remain same, but however it is always a right to use the video ID, I believe, right? So just click it, I mean copy, and what it is, it's a video ID and Josh Murray, right? Okay, so put this, all right, that's it, save, and now let's go and execute, and it just executed. Oh, I'm getting error now. Okay, so something wrong with this template. Now, oh, wait, sorry, I just missed um, the flower braces, the closing flower braces. Now let's run. Okay, it's done, and go and look at it whether things looks okay. Click Netflix videos. Oh wow! Now I click watch, and it goes to the Netflix into the right section. Then let's click the other one to see whether it goes to the right URL. Okay, that's cool, right? All right. Now this works better. All right. So now in order to, assume that you wanted to send to all your friends daily or your community. So I, I explained in the previous video that I mentioned in the description link. You can just go and put a trigger. Okay. So this is going to be like a daily trigger. Let's select the Netflix newsletter and leave the head remain same. It's a time driven, of course. It's a day timer because I'm not going to send something like hourly day. But okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send every day, maybe in the somewhere around 5 p.m. Okay, so I mean maybe 5 or 6 p.m. so that they when they come back to home after office or right, they'll get this newsletter and they can just go and look at it and they can click to watch. Now I'm done. So the Google is taking care of the entire platform, free for me, forever free for me, and it just pulled the record and it's going to send, right? So if you're interested in getting this source code, please mention in the comment section. I can share this code. Thanks for watching. Bye.